The first thing that disappears is not the money. It is the noise. A strange and natural quiet settles over the city, as if the world itself is holding its breath. Storefronts remain intact, lights still glowing behind glass, but no one stands inside them. The usual hum of commerce, voices, footsteps, distant engines, has evaporated into a hollow vacuum. Inside apartments, screens begin to flicker, not violently, but subtly. Numbers refresh slower than they should. A delay, a hesitation, then another. Phones buzz, but the notifications feel different, shorter, colder, lacking explanation. No alarm sound. No official announcement breaks the silence. Just a creeping awareness, spreading from one mind to another, that something invisible has fractured. ATMs continue to operate, but with hesitation. A transaction that once took seconds now lingers, calculating, deciding. And in that delay, the illusion begins to crack. Because money, in its modern form, depends entirely on one thing: belief in its immediacy. If that belief falters, even for a second, the entire structure collapses. Consider the year 2008. When the giants of Wall Street realized something too late. Their billions were never solid. They were shadows, projected by confidence. Lehman Brothers, a name that stood for over a century, vanished in a single weekend. The buildings didn't disappear. The employees didn't vanish overnight. The numbers were still there, but the value was gone. Like breath on cold glass. And in that moment, the world learned something uncomfortable. A bank is not made of stone. It is made of trust. But this story did not begin in 2008. It began long before electricity, before algorithms, before screens. In the early 19th century, during the chaos of the Napoleonic Wars, information was the most valuable asset on Earth. More valuable than gold, more powerful than armies. The Rothschild family understood something others didn't. Wealth is not built on what you own. It is built on what you know, and how fast you know it. Nathan Rothschild sat in London, connected to a private network of messengers, faster than governments. Faster than kings. While nations waited for official reports, he received whispers, carried by horse, by ship, by urgency itself. Then came Battle of Waterloo, a single battle that would decide the future of Europe. The story goes like this. A messenger arrived early. Hours before the news reached the public. Nathan knew Napoleon had lost, but he didn't celebrate. He didn't rush. He did something else. Something colder. He began to sell. Government bonds. One by one. Calmly. Publicly. Others watched, and they assumed the worst. If he was selling, Britain must have lost. Fear spread. Fast. Violent. Uncontrollable. The market collapsed. Not because of truth, but because of belief. And when everything reached the bottom, when confidence itself had shattered, he bought. Quietly. Completely. He didn't just buy assets. He bought control. By the time the truth arrived, it was already too late. The market recovered, but ownership had changed forever. Those who control information do not react to crises. They design them. Today, the battlefield is different. Invisible. Silent. Digital. Your wealth is no longer something you can touch. It is something you are told exists. A number. Flickering on a cold screen. Banks don't store money the way people imagine. They store something far more fragile. Trust. And trust depends on continuity, on systems that never stop, never lag, never fail. Because the moment there is a delay, even a small one, reality itself becomes questionable. If the server blinks, does your wealth still exist? Or did it only exist because the system said it did? Now imagine something worse. Not a crash, not a collapse, just denial. An algorithm that no longer recognizes you. No explanation, no warning. Just access. Gone. This is the new risk. Not losing money, but losing permission. In the summer of 1940, as war closed in, Britain made a decision. Not announced. Not public. Its entire gold reserve had to disappear. Operation Fishwood in crates, heavy, silent, loaded onto ships under darkness. Across the Atlantic, German submarines waited unseen every mile, carried the risk of total loss, because real wealth is not just owned, it is protected, moved, hidden. When necessary. Now fast forward, back to today. A bank run does not begin with crowds. It begins with a thought, small, quiet, almost harmless. What if one person withdraws? Then another. Then 10. Then thousands. The system doesn't break because of money. It breaks because of time. There is never enough time for everyone to exit at once. This is the truth most people never understand. The exit is always smaller than the crowd. Old money knows this. It doesn't chase safety. It builds resilience, not by avoiding risk, but by spreading it. Cash is only the beginning. Then comes gold, then assets that exist outside systems. Art. Value without a price tag. Land. Especially land that produces food, energy, stability, because when systems fail, production survives. And finally, control. Control over excess itself. Deep inside the Swiss Alps, those exist, buried in silence. No screens. No volatility. No delay. Only one thing: certainty. This is the final hedge. The transition from digital illusion to physical permanence. And yet, even this is not the foundation. Because beneath gold, beneath land, beneath systems, there is something even more fragile. Belief. Nothing in the modern world has value unless enough people agree that it does. Markets don't rise because they are right. They rise because people believe they will rise. And they don't collapse because they are destroyed. They collapse because doubt enters the room. The system does not need to break for you to lose everything. It only needs hesitation, a pause, a moment where certainty disappears. So the real question was never, how much do you own? It is, how long would it still exist if no one believed tomorrow? Because in the end, wealth is not stored in banks. It is stored in the human mind. And the human mind can change in a single second. And if everything you believed in could disappear in a single second, not with a crash, but with a pause, the real question is not how much you own. It is how prepared you are when the system stops answering. Because the system does not warn you. It does not explain. It simply moves on without you. So if you want to understand how money really moves, how crises are not accidents, and how the few stay ahead while everyone else reacts, stay close, because what you see is never the full picture, and what you don't see is what controls everything. Subscribe, or stay in the dark. Subscribe, stay ahead.